All right, what's up, everybody? It's Lucas from wndrsoul. I wanted to sit down and do a quick video about the video game awards, or technically the game awards. I think most people, when I talk to them, they say the video game awards, whatever. So I have the nominees pulled up for multiple categories. Obviously, we have 31 categories. I'm not going to vote on all of them. There's even a lot of games in here that I didn't even play. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you enjoyed one game and I didn't, or if you think this game's better and blah blah blah. Hey, I'm always open to listen to your opinion and anything in the comment section, so please drop it down there. And yeah, let's just have some fun, kick back, and yeah, talk about some video games. So we'll start with game of the year, so that way if you don't agree with what I gotta say, you can go ahead and jump off the video. But all of these games I've heard nothing but good things about. Out of all of them, I've played Baldur's Gate 3, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Resident Evil 4. I've yet to play Alan Wake 2. That is on my list. I'm really excited. I actually am playing Control, and a few months ago I started Alan Wake Remastered, and I never played it before, but I've always heard a lot of great things about that franchise and Remedy and all the, all the things that they've been doing. So I'm excited. But do I want to just drop $60-$70 right now? Not exactly, because I actually did that not too long ago when I bought Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And that's the only one that I beat, and I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Me and my girlfriend played it on the couch, had a good time. It's just classic 2D platformer Mario. Loved it, had a good time. Tears of the Kingdom, very excited, super hype. Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, definitely top 5. I really was hyped, went to the midnight release, got a copy, and played it pretty consistently for like a month and a half, 2 months, and then I just got overwhelmed and started playing other things, and I have been trying to pick it back up. Just full transparency. All right, Resident Evil 4, I played a little bit of the original on the GameCube. Really, my history with Resident Evil is I know a lot about it, watched gameplay, movies. I beat the 2 remake and the 3 remake. Played some Biohazard, which is the 7th. But, everybody hypes up Resident Evil 4. And so I was really excited to try this out. And I thought I just would get hooked and I would beat it. I've gotten probably 60 to 70% in. It's on my Xbox Series X and I got to finish it. I actually have it downloading now. I have a lot of games that I'm like, look, we have to finish these. I have a bad problem with not finishing things, games, books. So I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to get better. But I'm not going to tell you I beat the game, but it's really good. It really is. And I love horror. But I don't know if it just didn't grab me, and or maybe I'm not seeing why everybody has it in such high regard. Anyways, loved Marvel's Spider-Man, the first one. Loved Spider-Man, favorite Marvel superhero. Really enjoyed the video game. Played it on PS4. Didn't play Miles Morales, because I don't have a PlayStation 5. And I heard a lot of good things about Spider-Man 2, but I think there were some things that even if I had a PS5, I would have been kind of about, but that's just me. I've had some things spoiled, even though I like Venom and some of the characters that were going to be in that game or that are in that game. I think the thing with Sony right now, just my opinion, I think Sony does a lot of games that they're so beautiful, and yeah, they're fun, but they're so cinematic to a fault. And I think even some of the gameplay that I saw of Spider-Man 2 felt like that. So I don't know. Last but not least is Baldur's Gate 3. All right, I'm probably gonna get it if they shadow drop it or announce it during the video game awards. I am pretty sure they're at least going to announce it, but on the Xbox Series X is what I mean. Me and my girlfriend have played it together on the PC. My PC's okay. I'm even, as I'm recording this, realizing there's things I got to do to upgrade and update some of the you know, hardware and stuff like that. Ugh, PCs, man. So like I don't think I was gonna get the best experience. I think when I play it on the Series X, I'll get like at least visually one of the better experiences. And I've heard it's pretty good with controller. We're big fans of Divinity, even though we've never finished those. Those are just a long game, dude. They're so long. And when you have other things like full-time job, kids and things like that around, it's not always the easiest thing to just crush some of these huge RPGs or even just video games. I think that's why I mentioned I got overwhelmed with Zelda. I just wasn't feeling like I had enough time, and I was like, wow, this is weird, because with Breath of the Wild, I actually got really far and put it down for a long time. Picked it back up, beat it. Actually, I streamed it when I was doing streaming a lot, and I played it on stream, and yeah, I love it. But I don't know, man. The mechanics and having so many possibilities, but I think I'm gonna pick it back up. Like, I've been playing a lot of Switch lately. Like I said, Mario Brothers Wonder. Okay, game of the year. We're on the first one. I gotta focus. But I felt like I had to plead my case, so you can take my opinion here, however you like. Yo, shout out to Nintendo for having 2 games up. Their first parties this year in 2023 were insane. But I don't think either of those games are gonna win. I don't think Resident Evil 4 will win. I think it's just because it's a remake. People might hold that against it. I think Spider-Man 2 hurts itself from being an exclusive sometimes. You could say the same about Zelda and Mario, but man, the Switch. Who doesn't have Switch now? Like, it's been out for like 6-7 years. Jeez. I have an Xbox, PC, and a Switch. And Switch, just as an adult, it's been helping me with the handheld, getting some more game time than usual. I think it's really going to come down between Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2. I think there's a lot of things that I've heard about Alan Wake 2 visually, how it feels like it's a true next-gen experience, how unique it is. But man, I've just heard Baldur's Gate 3. And from what I've played, it was great. You know, what a masterful RPG experience. I cannot wait. And I cannot wait for them to just drop it. If they drop it, hey, go on Xbox right now. You can get Baldur's Gate 3, even though I would like a physical copy. If they announce it like then, I will go ahead and buy it and get it digitally. I'll probably just give these devs, like, I'll buy this game probably 3 or 4 times. But I think it will be between those two. You know, if it's one of the Nintendo games, it's just because of the reach that those games have with so many people having a Switch. But my personal, I would say Baldur's Gate 3. So there's that. Oh, it wants me to sign in. We'll just go to the next category. Best game direction. Pretty much all the same games. But let's read it. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Baldur's Gate 3, you might master the RPG experience or that type of RPG experience, but I don't think it's like innovated anything. Spider-Man 2, same thing. You could argue for Super Mario Brothers Wonder, but my gripes with that game, as wonderfully fun, and yes, pun intended, I had with this game. I mean, the Switch has been reminding me why you play video games. Like, Nintendo has been reminding me it is to have fun. So after all the years of competitive FPS, battle royales and stuff, it's been nice for me personally to go down into some of these games that are just for fun. And the Switch always has games that you can pick up and play. Anybody can pick up and play. I mean, even Zelda, you can literally just do whatever you want. You don't have to do anything. You can just walk around for 3 hours. It's up to you. Best game direction, I'm going to give it to Alan Wake 2. I think just the way it's, the creative vision part is what's got me there. So Alan Wake 2 or Zelda. I think just like this is like peak 3D open world Zelda, and the way that they've allowed players to have their own mark on the game by the creative, like, building and using of the environment, how you tackle problems. I think like that might be a reason why people would vote for Tears of the Kingdom. But so it's between those two. I personally think it will more likely go down to Alan Wake 2 because it's got the whole package, gameplay, visually impressive, and storytelling and stuff like that. And you're like, dude, you haven't even played the game. I'm like, I know. Best narrative for outstanding. Now, like, this is it. Like, I also, these are the ones I've not got enough knowledge. I'm just gonna say this is what I think will happen, just based off of what I've seen and heard from people on social media, YouTube, other content creators, just in general. But best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. So for storytelling, I will just speed up with this one. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077. I haven't gotten to the Phantom Liberty parts, I guess it's like DLC, you know? But man, what a comeback story for, CD Projekt Red and just that game. Man, and they dropped another patch today. Huge patch, man. So I'm downloading that right now. So I think, though, if we're talking about storytelling, it's going to be Alan Wake 2. You could argue Baldur's Gate 3 because of how much of a story you have an impact on, how personal it can be, how unique it can be. I think Cyberpunk has a good story. Final Fantasy, man, what a low-key Final Fantasy. Like, I just don't hear much about it. I mean, when it first came out, it looked visually impressive, some of those fights. I don't know. Kind of went into like a different direction that I don't know if it's gonna attract everybody. And then it's got the PS5 exclusive. That's kind of with Spider-Man 2. Like, I don't think everybody gets to enjoy some of these experiences. And but I did hear a lot of people did like Spider-Man 2's story. I'm gonna go ahead and say Alan Wake 2. But that's just me. Let's see, best art direction. Those Nintendo games are always beautiful. Lies of P, it's got a cool style. Alan Wake 2, obviously, but I will have to say, like, Hi-Fi Rush, dude. And if you haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, check it out on Xbox. It's fun. I'm not too particularly good at it. I'm not good at rhythm games and stuff like that, and that's at the core of it. Maybe if I gave it more time and was more patient with like that kind of mechanic, I would enjoy it a lot more. But from what I did play and see, it was really impressive and fun. But best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation alone, yeah, like Hi-Fi Rush, like that's easy. All right, what else we got? Score and music for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Hi-Fi Rush, dude. Just because. Audio director, Suchi Kobori. I'm terrible with pronunciations, but I would say Hi-Fi Rush. I mean, it's music is at the core of that game. Come on. Best audio design, I think you could also argue Hi-Fi Rush. But it might actually be Dead Space or Alan Wake 2, because those games, by sound design, being like horror centric and stuff like that, like if you really want to scare people, especially with everyone wearing these nice headphones and like you're really immersed in a game, if you have really good audio design, bro, it's over. I think it's gonna, but I think like the music aspect of Hi-Fi Rush might give it an edge, but I think it's actually going to be between Dead Space or Alan Wake 2. Best performance, I would just throw out, I don't really have enough. The guy who plays Spider-Man. How about that? Yuri. Innovation and accessibility, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Man, I don't know. Like, they don't really show any examples, but I do know that Xbox is really, really, really good about accessibility. So I would like to say, even though Blizzard is technically a part of Microsoft now, I'd like to say Forza. I think Forza being, Xbox Game Studios, they've done a good job. I have heard Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1 fighting games have made it more accessible for, if you look at it like from an angle of like, a lot of people don't know how to really get good at fighting games, and sometimes they're intimidated by fighting games. I think the biggest thing that Street Fighter 6 especially has done is tried to reach that audience, tried to go, hey dude, you can pick up and have fun and do these combos, and if you really want to get detailed with it and be competitive, like that's its own thing too. It's kind of like how Fortnite added the no build mode, and everybody like me, I was like, okay, this is what I can do. I can go out here and just have fun and do a battle royale. I can't build shit all the time, but yeah. So I think Xbox does a really good job with accessibility, and they're pretty vocal about that, and they do a lot controller wise, a lot of different things. Games for impact for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I have not played any of these games, so I really can't speak on that. So I feel like I shouldn't just like guess. I don't even have any kind of history. A Space for the Unbound actually looked interesting from what I saw in a trailer. I recently checked that out. That looked cool, but that's not what it's asking. It's like thought-provoking. This is out of my lane. So I'm gonna go to the next one. Best ongoing game, awarded to a game for outstanding development and or of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. A lot of people would put like a battle royale on here, right? Fortnite, Apex Legends. I'm going to honestly say Cyberpunk, man. If you look at the outstanding development of ongoing content and what they've been able to do with Cyberpunk, how different, how improved it is from 3 years ago, I personally would say Cyberpunk. But more than likely it's going to go to something like a Fortnite or a Genshin Impact. Best community support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. I'm kind of out of my lane here. I would say Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, or No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has changed a lot, and I think the community has been pretty good there. Don't really know. Played it a handful of times, had a good time with it, watched it evolve and turn around, just like Cyberpunk. Like Cyberpunk 2077 is so similar as far as the journey with No Man's Sky. So I don't know, maybe that's what they're trying to get at, is like feedback. But you guys let me know in the comments. What else we got? Best independent game, I would personally say Sea of Stars. I've played a little bit of that, really loved it. Pixel art, turn-based RPG. But dude, I've heard a lot of good things about Dredge and Dave the Diver. So if any of those win, those three, I think it's really close. I think it would be really close between those three. But a lot of good independent games. Best debut indie game, I would say Dredge. Even I don't have a lot of experience with any of these others, though. I never played Dredge, but I've just seen a lot. Mobile games, because I don't like mobile games, don't play them. We're gonna skip that one. Best VR, I don't have VR. I don't really even know a lot of people that do have VR, so maybe Resident Evil. Best action game, what do we got? Armored Core, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. I would say action game. For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat, I'd say Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, I think like that's just like the combat is so core to the experience. It's so fun. It's so unique. but we'll see. Best action adventure, combining combat with transversal and puzzle solving. All of these could win, man. Any of these could win. I think if you're talking about a popularity contest, though, I'm going to start with the lowest chance to win to the highest. Lowest chance would probably be Star Wars Jedi Survivor, followed by Resident Evil 4, and then by Alan Wake 2, and then Tears of the Kingdom and Marvel Spider-Man 2. Like, those are tied. Those are tied. So I think it's either going to be Tears of the Kingdom or Spider-Man. Best RPG. Let's see. With rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. I don't think it will be Lies of P or Final Fantasy or Sea of Stars, even though like they're all unique RPG experiences. All of these are, honestly. I think it will go to Baldur's Gate 3. Like, you know, nice that Starfield got in there. I think Starfield is going to be like a Cyberpunk and like a No Man's Sky, ironically. Over time, it will get better. But it disappointed me, to be honest. And I've been rooting for Xbox. I was really excited. I spent like $30 to upgrade so I could, because it was like basically, people say this, it was free on Game Pass. We forget we pay for Game Pass. But it was on there and I could have waited, but I wanted to play it. I was so hyped that I spent $30 to play it early, and I just was so, then like 48 hours just like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But, you know, it is what it is. It will get better. Best fighting game, I will personally say Street Fighter 6. Visually, for me, and I haven't played any of these, looked fun. The direction they went in, I really liked it. Like, the build up to it was cool. Mortal Kombat 1's like a soft reboot. The only thing that's going to keep them really popping is they're making Mortal Kombat 2 the movie, which Mortal Kombat 1 was okay. I'm not talking about the game, the movie that came out. You can watch it, I think, on Max. That was pretty middle of the road. But like having all these DLC characters like Homelander and the guy from Invincible, and just, yeah, it's like that's what's going to keep it in popularity. Never heard of God of Rock or Pocket Bravery, but yeah, Nickelodeon, I almost said Nintendo. All-Star Brawl 2, nah. So I think it would be Street Fighter 6. Best family game. Let's see. I think it will be Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I think you could put Party Animals was a lot of fun. Pikmin 4, I don't know. I think that's a very niche audience. Just my opinion. Sonic, you know, might, because it has a strong fan base. Disney Illusion Island, I have heard nothing about. So I think Mario, everybody, it's the year of Mario, the movie, and all the games have been coming out. Super Mario RPG, and then this, I mean, so. Best sim strategy game. Personally, what I think will win, I really was hyped for Fire Emblem Engage, and I don't think it really hit. I don't know if it will hit. I tried to pick it up recently and I couldn't, but that might get it. I don't think, like, I don't know, just, I'm sorry, Pikmin fans, like, I just think, I don't know, maybe I need to, my eyes need to be opened up. Company of Heroes 3, haven't heard much of, but I'm sure there's a fan group, like Cities Skyline 2. Honestly, I feel like it might be Advanced Wars 1+2. That's a game I want to get. I'm a fan of those games. I like the classic Game Boy Advance Fire Emblems and Advanced Wars. But when it got delayed, I guess I just kind of lost. It was off my radar, and now it's out, and, you know, I got to check it out. So, I don't know. I love sim and strategy games, though, and that's what's weird. None of these are, like, guaranteed to win. All right, let's keep going. Sports and racing, I think it's going to be Forza. The only other one that it could possibly be, just because soccer is so popular, but they went through a whole rebranding. Like, there's a whole thing. But EA Sports FC 24, it's not FIFA anymore, it's FC. But these other racing games, I don't know. Maybe F1, Formula One's get more popular. But Hot Wheels, nah, I don't think so. As multiplayer, I would say couch co-op Super Mario Brothers Wonder was a blast. I don't know if Street Fighter 6 would be mine. Party Animals is fun. Diablo is a multiplayer experience, like online, I think is good. And Baldur's Gate 3. Running a campaign with somebody else co-op, it's fun. So, man, this could go either way. This could go, it could go either way. I really don't know who's going to win that one. I really don't. I'm trying to think, like, trying to eliminate. I don't think it'll be Street Fighter 6. Diablo 4 probably won't win for some reason. I think in Baldur's Gate 3 might not win because it's already going to win so many. I think it's going to be either Mario or Party Animals. Best adaptation. I never watched Twisted Metal. I don't have Peacock. I don't have that. Didn't hear anything crazy about it, but yeah. You would think it'd be more hyped. I mean, maybe it missed a whole audience because I don't think they not released a Twisted Metal game on Sony PlayStation consoles since like the PS3. I don't think there's been a Twisted Metal game for a while. So maybe it was very odd. Maybe they were just putting it out there to see like, yo, people like this, make a game. I know Nintendo does that. Speaking of which, Super Mario Brothers movie, I think it will win. Made so much damn money. It was actually good. It wasn't bad. Last of Us, I didn't finish it. I actually liked the first game. I've watched people play part 2, but that might, people love Pedro Pascal, dude. People love Pedro. Gran Turismo, I heard that kind of flopped out. I loved, and if you haven't seen it, get on Netflix and watch it. Castlevania Nocturne, one of the best animes of the year. So that would be my vote. The action, animation, and story, pretty cool. But I think it's going to be Super Mario. I think Mario's going to have Nintendo's going to have a good sweep here. Most anticipated game. And I think after this, it's going to get into territory that I don't really care about, like esports and content creators and shit like that. I would say that recognizing okay, let me read this. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstratively illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. Who wrote that, man? Just say game people are most excited for. Jeez. I think it won't be Like a Dragon. It won't be Star Wars Outlaws. I think it won't be Tekken 8. I can tell you what the winner is, but I also feel like it's pretty close. I think Tekken can be up there. A lot of fighting games are having, I mean, like, let me go back to like Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6 are good games. They're good fighting games. They're going in a good direction. I just don't know. Like, fighting games are so intimidating. But I mean, Tekken, dude, I love Tekken. I don't know why. I almost have more memories of playing Tekken growing up than Street Fighter. But I think Hades 2, if people remember that there's a Hades 2 coming out, because people loved Hades. But I think like it's obvious that it'll be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, without a doubt. I think people are most excited for that. Sony's first party, especially with the Square Enix and the Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy VII Remake, like, they're killing it, man. But I don't know, maybe people aren't really feeling Final Fantasy. I mean, I know there's a fondness for 7, but that last Final Fantasy didn't do like I think they expected. I don't know. I don't think there's really anything here that just like goes, dude, yeah, this game, like a Grand Theft Auto 6, like that's definitely gonna win next year, right? Because that comes out in 2025. Content Creator of the Year, don't care. Don't know any of these people. Esports game, don't care. Don't play esports. Don't do esports athletes or teams or coaches or events. I think that's it. So yeah, that's my opinions on the Game Awards 2023. Those are what I think. That's, you know, like I said, I've been playing a lot with my girlfriend. We've been playing a lot of Switch, Baldur's Gate 3 on our PC, hopefully on our Xbox soon. A lot of Switch, man. You know, I like the Game Pass and the Xbox. There's just been some games that I think after Starfield, I kind of got a little butthurt, man. I got a little. I was like, all right, you know, just because there's other people say this game's a 10 out of 10 or you're gonna love it or whatever, or all the hype. You gotta figure out what's for you. Like, I've been playing that watermelon game that's like $3 on the Switch. Addicted to that. Me and my girlfriend play that all the time now, and it's so much fun. $3. I mean, I just like maybe it begs to have a different conversation that's more focused on this topic, but as far as quality games and going against the hype and other people's opinions and what, you know, IGN says or YouTuber this or Twitch streamer that says you should play or what everybody's playing, you know, like, yeah, I was excited to see Grand Theft Auto 6, but it wasn't like, oh my god, and now it's got like over 100 million views for the trailer. You know, I think it was a pretty good year in gaming. I mean, it really was. It's funny when you get to this point in the year and you do some reflection, but I think everybody's year of gaming looks different. It's not always, because you got to remember that most of these content creators and people that are putting out all these reports are trying to stay trendy. They're trying to stay relevant with what's going on, what's new, what's upcoming. But dude, like, there's too much. Like I told you, like, especially if you're working full time or got school or you got, you know, this or that, family, friends, whatever, you don't have the time like to dedicate to these 160 plus hour games. And that's why I think there's a, you know, high demand for those games that you can just jump on, play a couple matches and hop off for the night, or lay in bed and play a couple games, or get something done in, you know, Zelda, or play a couple, you know, levels in Mario. I don't know, maybe that's my personal experience, and that's why, like, my experience with gaming this year was probably very different from yours. And I'm still curious to see what you think, and you know, what you're looking forward to, what you've been playing, because like, this is just like a committee, just kind of like college football. They don't always get it right, or do they? I don't know. Like, that's why us, the masses, need to come together and share our thoughts and opinions. So feel free to do that, whether you're watching or listening to this, because I might drop it as a podcast. So speaking of podcasts, I have a podcast. If you're just watching this on YouTube, check it out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. A lot of cool stuff coming out next year. But yeah, I'm excited. I got my New England Patriots are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. This is happening. There's like a new Sims DLC that's releasing that my girlfriend's excited for. So there's a lot happening when the Game Awards come on. And game awards, or just awards in general, I'm kind of hit or miss. You can always watch highlights. Sometimes you just want to watch the results or catch the announcements. I think they'll do some shadow drops. Like, I'm praying that they do a Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox Go. Like, yo, it's on Game Pass right now. It's like, what? It won't be on Game Pass, or maybe. Anyways, thank you guys for taking time to listen to my opinions about the games of 2023. I'll probably do more reflection on my personal experience with gaming this year and with others on the podcast or something, if we can get something in. But yeah, thanks for watching and listening. Peace.